I'm in Miami with Mitchell Gold, who is about to sign my copy of his new book, A Comfortable Home. And Mitchell, how are you?
Great, thank you.
And are we in one of your stores?
We are. We're in our signature store in Miami. Oh, please don't ask me the address, but it's in the Miami Design District.
I know it's on 2nd
and 39th.
2nd and 39th, exactly.
And this is one of 16 signature stores that we have. And it's really nice to be here. It's nice to meet you in person.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Seeing your name.
There's a lot of our readers who are going to be interested in seeing you in person as well. Now, you have a store in Manhattan.
Right.
And I believe it's on Lafayette.
It's on Lafayette.
Lafayette, exactly.
Half a block south of Spring.
Oh, wonderful. Now, Mitchell, tell me about your new book, The Comfortable Home.
It's called The Comfortable Home, How to Invest in Your Nest and Live Well for Less. Would you grab me a copy of the book, please? Can everybody see it?
Yep.
So, part of Bob and I, as we travel, for now it's our 20th anniversary.
Oh my goodness.
People are often asking us, for little hints of how to get our look, the modern, traditional, mixed kind of look that we have. And we decided to do a second book. We did another book 3 years ago, and it was very successful. And the publisher asked us to do another book, and we expanded on what we did in the original book. But it's really telling people how to get started, because that's like the paralyzing thing. People just don't know how to even get started to decorate their home. It's like writing a story, and the first sentence is always so difficult.
Yeah,
I
never understand that myself. I mean, you see something, it appeals to you, or it doesn't.
A lot of people agonize over it, but a lot of times
I guess they need you for
home,
that.
if you have a 3,000 square foot home with rooms and you're trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. So we really tried to lay out for people how to do their home, how to have flow in it, how to really use it so it works for them. Because one of the things that we realize is a home is a lot of people's biggest investment. It's the biggest monthly payment. We want you to love your home. So we really try to take people through how to love their home.
Love it. Now, would you mind if I were to describe you as an energetic activist for the LGBT community?
That would be reasonable. I do have a lot of energy. My much younger fiance, he's striving to have my energy.
Well, my much younger husband just wishes he had a fraction of my energy.
Right, exactly.
But tell me what, the recent losses that we had in New York and in Maine and everything. I know this must be frustrating to you as it is to all of us. If you were, you're successful at business, some ideas about how the gay community should be strategizing to repair these things? Or?
Well, my biggest frustration is that the advocacy leaders in the various organizations don't recognize that religion is the #1 hurdle. In fact, I was talking to some leaders of a couple different organizations recently, and they made the comment to me about Maine that it wasn't about religion. And they had to pick me up off the floor. I could not believe it. I was aghast. I am horrified that they would say something like that, because clearly religion is the #1 reason.
Yeah, follow the money.
What interests me in a bad way is to watch a lot of these advocacy leaders. They really refuse to deal with religion. They don't know how, they're not comfortable with it. And my feeling at this point is, if you are a leader of an organization and you don't know how, you either have to put yourself on a crash course and learn, or you really need to step aside. It's not fair to the community, whether you work for a messaging organization or a polling organization. You've got to think about this in a very different way. And there are people that say, well, we've made a lot of progress. Well, of course we've made a lot of progress. And here I am running a factory in Taylorsville, North Carolina, buckle of the Bible belt. I'm out loud. Everybody knows who I am, and we have made progress. But we should not. It would be irresponsible of us not to recognize our failures. And I think the other thing is, if we lose 54 to 47, I think, or 54 to 46, or something like that. The real question is, could we have won? And in my opinion, we could have won. I think the #1 thing we have to educate people about is choice versus nature. And sexual orientation, whether it's gay, straight, or somewhere in between, is just the way a person is. It's not something that somebody arbitrarily decides, and it is not a decision to go against God's will. And that's what our opposition is really fearful of. And that's why they are so afraid that their kids at 14 years old in school are going to see Mr. Smith married to Mr. Jones and see that gay people are normalized, and then their little Johnny is going to decide to be gay, or little Sally is going to decide to be a lesbian.
I think you hit on something.
And we
It's
have
the
to
fear.
educate them that they shouldn't have that fear, that their child is going to be whatever they are, regardless of Mr. Smith married to Mr. Jones, regardless of any of those kinds of things. So I think that, my real disappointment now is, I think it's time for our leadership to recognize what they've done, what's been wrong, and how to move forward with it. I just read something really interesting. There's a psychiatrist that just died recently, and he coached successful Wall Street traders and athletes. And what he coached them on is not to have the tendency to be in denial or to rationalize their bad decisions. Our leadership is in denial and is rationalizing bad decisions. It's time for us to get successful.
Gee, how do you really feel, Mitchell?
That's how I feel. I'm like so exhausted from doing all this work, spending a lot of money. There's a lot of people out there who have far less money than me and give a portion of their income to try to get our equal rights. We have a responsibility. We have a fiscal responsibility to every one of these people.
Well, as you and I know, there's so much rethinking of strategies going on, but if you had a message to say to the Catholic bishops or to Archbishop Worrell in D.C., what would you say?
My message would be the Catholic Church has made horrible mistakes in the past, and they've apologized for them. I would remind them, I believe it was 1992, they finally issued an apology about Galileo. I would remind them that they've issued apologies to how they've treated women. I would remind the Catholic Church, as well as most denominations that are against gay people today, they have at one time or another issued an apology for mistreating. Religion-based bigotry is harmful. It's really harmful to young kids, to married couples, to people that want to love and support their partner. It's just harmful, and my message to them is stop.
All right. Well, I hope they get that message. And
thank you.
Before we run out of books here, I'm going to run and get one fast.
Okay, good.
Nice to meet you.
It's really a pleasure. Thank you.